We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. So, how well would Penn State's backup team like Penn State be? Is it as good as we all might think? Because Penn State is going to win another national championship at the NCAA's this year. This much we know. But how
Well,
well?
let's not
What?
make some crazy predictions here.
How
Yeah,
dare you
I'm going to get
There's a lot
crucified.
of
blaspheme
a lot of
Iowa?
time left, Jack. Let's not be a Penn State homer.
Yeah, we all know I'm a Penn State homer.
Yeah,
How well would their backups do? Are they as good as we think? Do they have as
they
much
have that
depth
layer of
as we
depth.
think, or are they just have some really top of the top line guys in the starting slot? So obviously, Braden Davis is the starter at 125. Some may argue that he's the number one guy because he's the only undefeated guy left, and he just beat Michael D'Agostino. But behind
They
that
must just
slot,
be
I mean, Gary
straight down.
Steen, Robbie Howard, Kurt McHenry, none of these guys I don't even think would qualify for nationals.
I think Howard would. I mean, he
Really
has.
stellar 3-4 record. He's gonna.
I think he's still hurt, but like are we talking like when he was right now or just,
Yeah, right
before
now.
his
Yeah,
Right
right
now.
now in like a month
If
and a half when
Davis
Big
if
Cat has
Davis
happened is
yeah, if Davis
they threw
goes
out Robbie Howard. Is he qualifying? I don't think so.
it's tough because he's qualified before for nationals. Like and
That
one
was
match is at nationals. Like that's what's tough.
Has he
You would
won
think,
matches at nationals?
yeah,
Did he really?
he did. A long time ago now, but
A long time
yeah, I feel
ago.
like he's been around forever, but
only a sophomore.
only a sophomore. So yeah, I mean I maybe, but there's no saying that Robbie Howard would even be the guy. They were still
Hasn't
trying to figure that out.
hasn't Robbie lost to Gary Steen this season?
I feel like that's a yes.
I thought he lost to him at one
No,
of
he
the.
won in overtime, 5-2.
Well, that's enough. I think he'd be an All American then.
If he can beat his teammate, he's an All-American.
Yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
wait, you know who the closest match for Mitch Messenbrink was this year?
His teammate,
His teammate.
Oh,
Terrell
interesting.
Bearclaw, who
That's right.
according to their other teammate, Kar Srirachi, is their backup 57, even though he
Yeah.
never weighed in at 157 this year.
Hey,
Well,
he
and
almost
he also could potentially be a national title contender, according to Carter. So,
I mean, he did have a very close match with Sugar Shane.
yeah.
Yeah, but a win is a win. Anyway,
Remember that
125.
during the Levi Haynes video?
I don't think there would be a national qualifier at 125 without Braden Davis.
I'm biased because I still believe in Robbie Howard. So I want to take myself out of that conversation because I think he could be a national qualifier. In my heart, I feel that, but in my head, I don't think he would this year. Obviously, he's not doing very well. I think he's still hurt. I think he's got much worse injuries than he probably wants to let on to.
What about 133? You got Carl Schindeldecker, Baylor Shunk, Sean Wang, Kyson Garcia.
Tyson Garcia is actually a good recruit. Like he's a redshirt freshman, but this is a dude that was like a three-time state champ from Kale's home state of Utah. Four-time, I think he took third as a freshman.
Yeah, I
Um,
wonder who, if Nagao hadn't transferred, who Penn State would be throwing out.
It's tough to tell with these freshmen because, like, obviously with Tyler Kasak, like, if he didn't, if Van Ness didn't go out, like, we wouldn't really know the full capabilities that Kasak had. So maybe Garcia is legit, but he hasn't wrestled 0-0.
Right, right.
yeah.
I'm shocked. Like, not even like the redshirt guys are wrestling. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, because they could just go to any open tournament and get matches in.
Penn State, they just don't like
I think it's
wrestling
about
matches.
I really think it's about prolonging the career. Um, think about how much longer guys are wrestling freestyle now compared to what they used to. I just don't think that I think there's a certain amount of gas you have in your tank for your life. And Penn State coaches, you got a guy like Kale that was like, look, man, no one wrestled more than I did. But my freestyle career didn't turn out maybe as good as I wanted to, and it ended much earlier than a lot of people expected it would. And I think that that's partly why they have a lot of these guys on pitch counts, because it's as much as Penn State wants to win the national titles, they're putting a lot of horses into the NLWC, and that's what they want to, expand into is the world teams and whatnot. And I think, in my own guess, is why they have so many guys not wrestling, because Jack's right. I mean, uh, Tyler Kasak is a bad example of this. Braden Davis, bad example too. But like Levi Haynes has only had like 8 matches, and last year he had like 30.
Yeah.
And I think it's like they're like, cool, we know what you do as a freshman. Now it's just like easing in and just like winning the national titles and then saving your body for freestyle.
Some of these guys are never even going to be destined for freestyle, though.
Yeah. Kyson Garcia was a multiple-time Fargo All-American, so I could see him as a freestyle guy.
Maybe he is destined for freestyle, but some of these guys are going to retire once they graduate. So,
yeah.
So we would probably see Kasak or Evans as the 41.
Assuming Van Ness is in.
Well, no, we're talking about the backups.
Yeah, okay. Oh, but could Kasak? You're assuming that Van Ness is healthy then, right? Because he's now like the starter, right?
Kasak.
Yeah.
Well, is Kasak the starter? Because they sent Evans out at 49.
I don't think they burned the red shirt just yet.
That's true.
So they're debating.
Kasak has only had 3 duels.
Yeah, I think they're waiting to see what's going to happen.
So yeah, they haven't exhausted the red shirt yet. He teched Graham Rooks, even though Graham Rooks also got majored by someone low ranked pretty recently as well. He beat Nash Singleton. And this is all kind of at a higher weight up. He's more natural 141.
Yeah,
Bo Bartlett a close match, but that doesn't really say much because Bo Bartlett.
Everyone has a close match with Bo Bartlett.
But he beat his own teammate David Evans, so I would assume that. I mean,
in tiebreakers.
So it's really kind of a flip 'em at that point. And then David Evans, he got the matches this weekend and went 2-0, but not against Fidel Monora is Michigan's backup, and Stauffenberger's 5-11. So
his biggest win, it looks like, besides against his teammate, was against
Composto. He beat in overtime.
Yeah, he did beat Composto, and then he beat Jordan Hamden from Michigan State as well.
So I don't think either guy is an All-American threat.
Yeah, probably not.
I think Kasak is going to All-American 49, but that's besides the point.
This year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's good. I mean, he's a guy I followed in high school. Again, a lot of these guys that I followed through like some of them I followed their youth career through high school, through college. And so I'm like overly attached to them. So I see things through a rose-colored lens. But I could definitely see Tyler Kasak making a late push as an All-American. I mean, his only loss is to his teammate, is to Bo Bartlett.
Well, yeah, but I mean, 7 matches.
So
the rest of the country is battle tested, and some of these guys are not.
He has one less match than Levi Haynes has, who's the returning national finalist in Big Ten.
Yeah, and we all see he's
Haynes is having a tough time maintaining that undefeated.
But all that matters is the end of the year.
Well, we'll see come the end of the year. I mean, but Haynes doesn't even have a backup. No one else on the team's 157.
Nope, he's too good.
I mean, maybe
to have a backup.
Maybe
if he wasn't there, who would they be throwing out? Would they be bumping up a 49, or would one of these 65s be cutting down?
I think probably Bearclaw would cut down, because that's what Carter Sirachi said. He's our backup 57 in that interview. It's funny because Alex Facundo, he's on a red shirt, but like he's got to plug and play into this lineup somehow. Like Messenbrink is a freshman, Haynes is a sophomore. What is Facundo going to go to 74 next year? Probably, right?
Unless I think they might do a big slide. I mean, I don't think Messenbrink's big enough to go 74.
Messenbrink goes up to 74.
I don't.
Yeah, but Mark.
I don't think Messenbrink's big enough to go 65. Mark Hall got big, but I don't think Messenbrink is big enough to go 65. There was actually people that talked about him going 57 and Haynes going 65 this year.
Well, maybe they should flip-flop because Haynes does not have it this year.
Oh, Mesenbrink at 57. Oh,
If he can keep the same pace and like not have a drop off in anything, he'd be disgusting.
I mean, he already is disgusting though. Why would
do
he?
you have the most matches on the team? 12-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Slow him down.
Braden Davis. Doesn't Braden Davis have more at this point?
No, 11-0.
I thought he had 17 for some reason.
So
On his back here with 12 matches.
so Facundo, I'd say is a high quality backup.
Yeah, for sure. Probably a guy that has all American potential, but
Yeah,
K-
after
K-Sac-
last year, I don't know about all American potential.
but again, he
K-Sac
beat
is
guys that were good last year.
Yes, but then did not do good.
Well, that's just he has the potential. Like I said, it's like could, would, should. Some people say it's words for losers, but I think it's a possibility.
Yes, indeed.
74 also seems pretty weak.
Joe Lee's only a junior?
Well,
Joe
there's Joe and Matt. They're both
Joe and
juniors.
Matt.
Oh,
One of them was a national qualifier, but neither of them are their brother.
No.
Yeah. I wonder if Josh Barr would cut down for 174.
Well, he doesn't need to because Bernie's going to be gone, and he'll probably be
Yeah.
the 84 next year.
Yeah,
Or you could bump up to 97.
true.
Yeah, because Aaron Brooks will be gone. I mean, does Penn State have any plug and play true freshmen available next year in the lineup?
Mirasola brothers.
Well, only one of them would probably fit the slot.
Well, one of them's 285. One of them's
I was going to
190.
say, because they don't have a backup heavyweight.
Well, AJ
Well,
Frishon is technically their backup, and Lucas Cochran also went up today. And at the time of this filming, he beat the Michigan State starter.
He did, yeah.
But he's a 97, so he's not really a heavyweight.
Yeah, I think that they would have out of the Mirasolas, one would go heavyweight, and I think the other would probably go 197. Although they both seem to be around like roughly the two. I don't think anybody's heavier than 220 in that family.
Gotcha.
But
So
it doesn't matter because Kirk's going to be there for a while. I mean, I think he's got another year of eligibility after this year anyway.
It says he's a junior, so
Yeah.
So he's got next year.
It's interesting to take a look because we always say like, oh, Penn State, like their backups are all Americans on other teams potentially. But when you kind of look at it this way, like I don't see too many of these backups being all American potential. Like, let's say Shane Van Ness is in. Okay, yeah, maybe Tyler Casack, all American potential. I don't think David Evans is there. I would say Alex Facundo has the potential, like we talked about. Josh Barr could be scary. He beat Jacob Nolan of Binghamton this year, who's ranked number 12, so he could potentially be up there.
3 potential All-Americans, but no one guaranteed, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
So
still solid. I mean, it's still impressive, given the age that some of these guys are so young. But yeah, definitely not like people always go, where's Penn State going to put all this talent? They have so many guys that are great riding the bench. Just like you said, Jack, they could be like starters or All-Americans elsewhere, but it doesn't look like that's necessarily the case right now. And sure, these guys might develop into All-Americans. And that's probably the expectation at Penn State. But as of right now, some of them are a little young.
well, it begs the question is like, is Penn State reliant on the transfer portal? Because you have Aaron Nagao and Bernie Truex who are filling that spot. Like, if they're not there, okay, maybe you put Josh Barr in. Maybe he's an All-American contender. So you're not losing too much there. But 33, that's a huge drop off.
Yeah. I mean, Messenbring too is a transfer, but
oh, that's true.
I think that, he's, in my opinion, a very good shot at being an All-American. And I think that Alex Facundo is.
You think so?
I think it's in the cards. But
really? Well, he had a really close match with Cam Amin there.
It was anybody's
nail biter.
Unrelated to that, but if that Cam Amin match was anywhere else, he would have been stalled out. The fact that it was in Michigan is why they didn't stall him out of that match.
I disagree. I feel like some of those stalling calls were a little forced, but that's just me being a Penn State hater.
So I watched a video on it on one of the pirated channels that guys comment on that. And one guy did the math to count the number of steps Amin took. He goes, he took 200 steps backward before the first period ended.
Whoa. How many
Before
stall
the
calls
fir-
did he have? It was what, four?
He had
Yeah.
4. He took 200 steps back before the first stall call.
That's a lot of steps back.
That's insane. He was like running a backwards mile.
200?
One guy broke it down the entire little video about how many steps he took in between the stall calls. I meant to take a picture of it because I figured we'd talk about it.
That's an interesting breakdown there.
That guy, I love wrestling, but that's too much free time to count each guy's individual steps.
Well, he probably was just like, look at all these steps that he's taking. Look at all these back up.
Like, someone's got to count this.
Someone's got to count this. I'm that guy.
I should count this and put it online.
People will agree.
But yeah, I think getting back to it though, I think Facundo would have the All-American potential. Kasek, possible All-American. 125, maybe if he returns to form. Robbie Howard gets a national qualifier. Terrell Barraclaw, maybe probably a national qualifier.
Where would Penn State be without Nagao, Truex, and Mesenbrink?
Well, that's what I was just saying.
Like I know. I'm like just like thinking about that, like really letting that sink in. Where would they be? Like, I don't think.
Sink in.
I think Josh Barr would be the starter. He'd probably be ranked top 15 because he beat Jacob Nolan.
Okay, yeah.
And he'd probably develop pretty well.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Facundo would be top 10.
Like, I don't think it would be a slam dunk national title for the team.
No.
Like, I think it would
without
be
those
like,
two guys, I don't know. No other team is like Srirachi, Brooks, and Kirk are like heavy national title favorites.
Bartlett's expected to be a high All-American. Haynes still thinking high All-American.
Even so, if you're losing Truex, Mesenbrink, and Nagao.
Oh, that's true. If you're losing if you take out.
So let's say Mesenbrink, what do you think he takes? Top 3?
I mean, he potentially, yeah.
I'm interested to see him against Dean Hamidi because Hamidi.
I mean, he just knocked off the guy that took 4th 2 years in a row. So, and he made 12 to 1.
3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. He took 4th.
Yeah, but it's a matchup thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you got, David Carr and Keegan O'Toole.
Yeah.
I think Keegan O'Toole's shaking.
And Julian Ramirez.
I think that Keegan doesn't want the smoke from Mesenbrink, but I think that Mitch is a top 3 guy. I would say Facundo is around a 12 at worst.
I'd say at best.
I think he could All-American.
I don't think so.
I think, yeah. I think he could. I
think that's a bit bold. I think at best round of 12.
I don't know. I think he could, but we haven't seen it yet. He underperformed last year, and Shane Van Ness definitely overperformed. Not to say that like he's not that good, but like up until Nationals last year, he wasn't that good.
I still think Penn State would be able to get the team title with.
I do too.
Missing those 3
No,
guys.
I'm just saying it would definitely be like up in the air where like someone could potentially knock him off. Whereas this year, I don't think anyone stands a chance.
But that's the thing. Like Penn State's always going to get those transfers. Like next year, I'm sure we're going to see some All-American that comes out of nowhere from a small team.
AJ Ferrari, maybe.
Oh, we need a 97 pounder this year.
Ferrari. Could you imagine the Ferraris come to?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Oh, geez.
But I don't see Penn State's backup team being a top 20 team.
No.
I don't see it. Comment down below. What is Penn State's? I mean, Penn State's depth. I mean, at least I don't think it's as strong as you might think.
I mean, thinking about it, you'd be like, yeah, they're going to be amazing. But then in reality,
and we're not picking on Penn State because like, obviously other teams are the same way. You take out their best guy.
Yeah.
They don't have a guy to plug in. But I would say that there are probably other teams. NC State comes to mind Oklahoma State tends to have a lot of depth. There are other teams that I feel like have better team depth than Penn State.
I'd like to see two comments from people. It's like, one, what do you think Penn State's backup lineup would be, 125 through 285? And two, how do you think they would place at nationals as a team?
I would say maybe like 23, 25, maybe.
Still
Yeah.
solid, still good.
Still good. I accept that.
So comment down below. And thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.